suppose that's the key bit geographically for us with Leighton Buzzard. Just a nice place to live. It sort of doesn't. I know that's not like a typical business answer, but because we don't need to be anywhere, we've made the choice to be in Leighton. You go, oh well, that's. I mean, trust me, a beach in Mexico, I think, is worth a go.
Absolutely. So, what's like the furthest away stockist that you think?
Australia.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
That's pretty far.
Yeah.
So this week on the podcast, I'm talking to Wes, who was actually the first person that I interviewed for this podcast way back when I had the idea. He and I talk about what it means to run a business in Leighton Buzzard, even if you could run it from anywhere.
So hi, this is Laura. I run the Leighton Buzzard Local Instagram account, and I am talking to local people on the Leighton Buzzard Local podcast, as I think I'm now going to call it. So I'm here with Wes. So Wes, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Wes Venn, or Wesley Venn if I'm in trouble, and I own Buddy Fernandez Cards. I co-own it with a partner of mine, and we do naughty greetings cards for birthdays and Christmas and all that sort of stuff.
Fantastic. And are you stocked somewhere in Leighton Buzzard?
So yeah, we're actually in a couple of places. We are in D's Cards and we're also in Happy Dashery. So a couple of places in Leighton Buzzard. But this is our hometown, so our stomping ground. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was thinking about this podcast, I was thinking obviously I wanted to chat to people who own shops in Leighton Buzzard, but I also wanted to chat to people who obviously, you can either work with in Leighton Buzzard or don't necessarily have a shop and that kind of thing. So yeah, how have you found setting up Buddy Cards, and what sort of experience have you had?
Well, so Buddy's we've been going for 10 years now, which is scary to say that, because I was young and handsome. I was young when we started it, and we have sort of been based in Burke. Buddy's a really interesting one in terms of when we set it up. We didn't mean to do this, but we actually set up a really, really dynamic company by accident, purely by accident. So we don't have premises. We don't hold stock. We don't have anything. Basically, Buddy, 50% of Buddy Fernandez Cards is sat here talking to you. There's the other 50% is on a laptop with Lee, who's my business partner. So we're quite transient. Would you say transient? We don't have a home. I mean, I live in Leighton Buzzard, and that's great. So location is a really interesting concept for us. In the I love Leighton Buzzard and know Leighton Buzzard very well, and so it's lovely to be in the shops in Leighton Buzzard, and I'll get mates go, I saw one of your cards, blah blah. But actually, we're not really a Leighton Buzzard company geographically. If that sort of makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's like the furthest away stockist that you think?
Australia.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. That's pretty far.
Yeah.
Away.
So we're international. We're like Trotters Traders. International. Leighton Buzzard, Paris, and New York. But so we, because of the nature of our business, we can trade in Australia and America and stuff like that. And funnily enough, the way that the cards actually work is we don't hold stock. So if you Laura, were to buy a card for your other half because you really didn't like it when you bought one of us, you're like, oh god, it's falling to pieces. Then when you purchase that card, we get the order and we send it straight to our printer, who prints off that individual card and sends it out. We do that as an individual, but that same business model works for our bigger orders. So if we got somebody that said, right, we want 10,000 cards, 60 designs, so we would then go, thank you very much. We send that to our printer. They print it, and we get different prices on the numbers of cards. But the principle, whether it be a card or 10,000 cards, works exactly the same. So that's why we can be anywhere in the world and be running whatever we like. And so what that has led to is now us thinking about Australia, which we've just got a distributor in Australia who's taken some as an initial one. But if that works, what we would aim to do, again, we've become sort of an accidental eco-friendly business, because our carbon footprint in terms of what we do is running a laptop and running some phones, and that's kind of it. And then you've got the printing costs. Okay, so you've got that, but you haven't got warehousing or anything like that. But now we're looking, if we get an Australian order, can we find a printer in Australia? So we start utilising services around the world rather than. old models of, well, we've got to be here and we've got to do this.
Yeah.
Well, you don't actually need to anymore. That is what we've discovered to say. Purely accidentally. So it's an interesting one to say that we're a Leighton Buzzard company. We are, and very proud to be from Leighton Buzzard, but we're not really.
Yeah.
And so it's a funny
No,
one.
absolutely.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense, and I think there are one of the things that I'm hoping to kind of explore a bit with the podcast is to speak to people who run businesses in Leighton Buzzard that you might not necessarily know about, because like you said, you've got 2 stockists here in town, which is great, so people can go and buy your cards.
Yeah.
But actually, like, what is it about Leighton Buzzard that you enjoy, and what advantages does it have, like, as a business that could be anywhere but happens to be here?
Well, do you know, I think because of us, it's not like business rates that we need to worry about. It's just a nice place to live, which is a lovely thing to be. And we are close enough to London should we need to go and meet stockists or meet, you know. And so we've got that little bit of geography is actually quite handy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting one. I like Leighton Buzzard because it's actually a nice. You can run ideas past people in Leighton Buzzard, and they're open-minded enough. And because you get an influx of people from London now, I think it's becoming a little bit more diverse, which is great, because years ago it probably wasn't. And I like that you can talk to more people about it. And if I ever wanted to go, does that work for that market? Then you feel like the Leighton Buzzard people, we're smart enough, but not so up our own arse. You know what I mean? Certain places go, well, it is, or it isn't, and certain places just don't give a monkey. So it's that nice sort of balance, maybe, with that sort of thing. I suppose that's the key bit geographically for us with Leighton Buzzard. Just a nice place to live. In fairness. It sort of doesn't. I know that's not like a typical business answer, but because we don't need to be anywhere, we've made the choice to be in Leighton. You go, oh, well, that's I mean, trust me, a beach in Mexico, I think, is worth a go. I'm willing to try it. If I get sand in my keyboard, it's a risk that I am willing to take. But it's not. Sorry, coming back to an elongated answer, but that is also a nice thing. If we did want to, and we've sort of talked about it, if we did want to go abroad, you know, if you go for an elongated sort of holiday or something like that, sabbatical, but you'd still work, but you can take it with you. So it's we're Leighton Buzzard centric in ourselves, but the business doesn't need to be, which is a strong job.
Are there other businesses in Leighton Buzzard that you work with, or?
We do try to.
And so, obviously, you've been talking about how much you like Leighton Buzzard. So, like, what other small businesses do you, I suppose, yourself? Are there, like, what are favourites in town? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I like the pubs are good.
Yeah.
Always love the pubs. Coffee shops. And as I say, I've been here for many, many years, and the high street in Leighton Buzzard, you know, it was charity shops and estate agents, and it was like, geez, or betting shops. Charity shops, betting shops, estate agents, and that was all you had. And what has been lovely, and no, certainly my other half, there's a lady who likes to lunch, you know, she likes to, not that I'm supporting her, but she's going out, and the coffee shops and some of the little shops that are popping up, the independents, and the people responding to the independents and going, gee, I love the high street. And you get people coming in from London that I know now on our street, we live up near the station, that come in and they are moving from London and they love Leighton Buzzard and they think that it's actually really nice. There's lots of independents, there's lots of this, and you go, oh, you're coming from London, and you go, actually the realisation that a lot of the London high streets, other than the really affluent ones, they have chains, they don't, and they come here and they go, oh, this is really quirky, we're not paying London prices, but it's got that nice feel of it, and there's a bit of a community to it, and you'll find something unique, a unique coffee shop or a unique gift shop, you know, like we're based in, and I do like that. I think that's coming on, and once again, the diversity of the town within itself, because it's getting slightly bigger, some people, you know, I love it, I think it's fabulous, the more the merrier, and some of the stuff that's coming in, it's great, it's lovely.
No, that's really cool. I don't think I have any other questions.
That's all right. That's all right. No,
that's cool.
Yeah, cool.
Great. Thank you very much for joining me, Wes.
Pleasure.
If you enjoyed this episode, then check out the other ones that I've done in this series, and don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.